Friends, today let us discuss on the different sources of our Indian constitution. So, in search of the most balanced government, the framers of our constitution they studied and learned from the experiences of other countries, and they borrowed a number of provisions from different countries, not just to slavish mediation, but on those issues and grounds that suits and is apt to the Indian problems and aspirations. So, some of the popular ones let us discuss. From the Government of India Act 1935, we have the Federal Scheme, Office of Governor, Role of Federal Judiciary, Emergency Provisions, Public Service Commission, and Administrative Details. And from the British Constitution, we have borrowed the first past the post system, lawmaking process, Office of the CAG, writ jurisdiction of the courts, parliamentary form of government, Office of the Speaker and its rule of law, electoral system, single citizenship, bicameralism, legislative procedure, and cabinet system. So we can remember all these different points. Using some mnemonics, you can create your own mnemonics. For example, flow, balls, and plague. And then from the United States, that is the US Constitution, we have the fundamental rights, independent judiciary, judicial review like the PIL, and procedure for removal of the judges of Supreme Court and High Courts. Then we have the preamble. Then we have the role of Vice President as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha and impeachment of the Vice President and post of the Vice President. From the Canadian Constitution, we have the Federation with a strong center, advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court, vesting of residuary power in the center, and appointment of state governors by the center. And then from the Weimar Constitution of Germany, we have borrowed the emergency power enjoyed by the Union, like the suspension of the fundamental rights during emergency. Then from the Irish Constitution, we have borrowed the popular directive principle of state policy, then the method of election of president and nominating members of the Rajya Sabha. And from the erstwhile Soviet Constitution, we have to borrow the fundamental duties and the ideals of justice, that is social, economic, and political, in the preamble. And from the Australian Constitution, we have borrowed the idea of concurrent list, joint sitting of two houses of the Parliament, freedom of intercourse, interstate trade, commerce, and intercourse. Then from the South African Constitution, we have borrowed the procedure of amendment of the Constitution, and then election of members of the Rajya Sabha. Let's not get confused with the nomination thing. From the French Constitution, we have the Republic and the principle of liberty, equality, and fraternity. So those are some of the important popular provisions that we have borrowed from other countries. So thank you, and please do subscribe.